Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Steve TV or STV or whatever we're gonna call it. I don't remember what we're gonna call it. It's been a while. It's been a little bit since we've made a video. So we're looking at five different 5 ways British families are different from American families. Check it out. Shall we? We shall. Let's do it.
Whoa, back up the truck, right? America has a bigger population, it has
True
more
enough.
households in general, so this makes sense.
Yeah, okay. True enough.
Hello, I'm Lawrence,
I
and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to family. You know, there's an old saying in the English language, families, you can't live with them, and there are studies to back me up on that. But as I discussed recently with patrons on my secret stream, there are various nuanced differences between how family life plays out in Britain and
Let's
America.
see
And
if
as I
he's
said to
right.
my
I don't
patrons last
know.
Friday, I've experienced the best and the
There were
worst
7
of
in my
both sides
family.
of the coin. And so today, at the risk of alienating
7
everyone in
kids,
my
anyway.
families, I'm going to lay out some of my observations. Here are 5 ways that British and American families are very different.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's because I'd already seen the extra large size of America's roads and cars and land and grocery stores and everything, but my initial impression was that American family sizes were bigger than those of Britain. And, you know, if you don't believe me, watch the 1990 documentary Home Alone. It just felt like my wife's relatives were coming from all
Documentary Home
angles, you know,
Alone,
not
huh?
in attack formation. It's not the
Right.
18th century. But their great numbers instilled in me this kind of belief that American households were on average made up of more people than your British equivalents. But was there any truth to this matter? It's not that British families don't have multiple children. I myself have 2 siblings. Well, it turns out there is no ignoring the facts. Over the last 10 years, the average number of person per UK household was between 2.3 and 2.4. In that same time
I
period, the
mean,
average
that's
number of people in an American household
we
has
got
roughly
about
floated between
3, maybe
2.5 and
3.5.
2.6 people. So that means that on average, American households have about a fifth of a person more than British households,
A
which is
whole
about the
fifth
size
of
of a
the
leg.
person.
What's going on,
Whoa.
America? Well, one thing that I've noticed that might accommodate this slight increase in family size is the relatively large size of American houses, which, as I pointed out in a video 2 years ago, are just bigger, which, you know, might account for these. My family might not be typical,
Get
but when I was growing up
togethers.
in Britain, we had parties at our house for 2 occasions, and those 2 occasions were Christmas and birthdays. For Christmas, it would just be a small gathering of
I think
humans
when
that
our
could fit
country was
inside our
younger,
English living
yeah,
room. And for
it
birthdays,
mattered.
and we're
We had
particularly
more of
talking
that
about
kind of
childhood
traditions.
birthdays, it would usually be about 6 kids, one of whom was inevitably thrown out for disruptive
I think
behaviour,
we're getting
forcing the
there
other
to
5 to
where
go on without me. And they'd all play Pass the Parcel, which is a game that I don't hear too many Americans talking about, come to think of it. And that was about it for me. But in America, families will house huge parties for all manner of occasions. So 25 people will show up to Christmas meals, Thanksgiving meals, 4th of July stuff, birthdays,
not so
graduation
much
open house
anymore.
parties. I did
Not so
3
much
of those in
anymore.
my
I
first year,
disagree.
and I still don't know who
I'd
those
love to
people
get
are.
back to
And
that,
the
but
one that
we're
really
not
stands out for
there.
me
We just
personally is
aren't
the
there
welcome
yet.
party that I was given. When I came to Indiana in 2007, I was just visiting, you know, and I thought I'll meet the mum and the dad for the second time, I'll meet the brother and sister, maybe pet a dog or 2. No, I got the whole works, as they say.
The
There were
whole
aunts and
works.
uncles and granddads and grandmothers and cousins of cousins. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, you're an introvert. That must have been hell. But here's the thing. One of the most challenging things about being an introvert is initiating the conversation. And because I couldn't get a word in edgeways, I
Right.
didn't have to go through that. So everyone's a winner. A moment
Chicken
ago, I
dinner.
touched upon graduation open house parties. What I didn't mention is that we do have graduation parties in the UK. It's just that the word graduation usually refers only to the commencement of university/college. Whereas in America,
Oh,
it seems like families will hold a graduation party for various levels of the educational pyramid. So I've
kindergarten,
celebrated
first
everything from a
grade, but it
distant
don't
cousin's
matter.
graduation from elementary school
Yep,
all the way through to university.
it's
And it's all
true.
good. You know, you normally give them a card with some money in it.
Yay, you
and
did
needed
it.
that
Woo.
yourself. And presumably they put it toward their first car, you know, not the
Sure.
elementary kids.
They don't buy
Or the high
junk
school
with
kids
it.
come to
No,
that.
not in
I don't know what they
America.
spend it on. All this to say that American families place a great deal of emphasis on the educational excellence of their kids. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't happen in Britain. Of course it does. I just think the idea of pushing their kids to excel academically is, generally speaking, more prominent in the United States. This doesn't just apply to grades. It's things
This must
like
be, I don't know
extracurricular
if this is
activities.
updated.
It
This
seems
is
like it's a
new.
really
I don't
big thing
think
here
this
for
is
kids to
new.
be on a sports team or
Honestly.
to be in
Whoa.
band or to do, what was it called? Yes, colour guard. That's where you throw the sticks and the flags in the air and you catch them in ways that I can't even comprehend. And American families are super supportive of this. You know, many of them will go and watch their kids perform, and I've
You
even
can tell
been to
he's
a
been
few
in
myself.
America
And
way
what can you
too
say at
long.
the end of such an event?
His
Ooh,
accents
your
starting to
flag throwing
fade.
skills were really impressive, presumably. I mean, I don't know the rules. The point is, whether we're talking about football or marching band or honor
See,
society,
he says
it seems to me
football
that
way
kids'
too
extracurricular
American
activities
style.
play a larger role
For
in the
my
dynamics
ears,
of an
I don't
American
know.
family as
I
opposed
watch
to
a lot of
British
British
one.
stuff.
I sort of hate this bit because I don't have any data to back it up. It's just all feeling. So instead, let's talk about something
That was
for which
very-
I do have some numbers. One of my patrons, Jeff, asked me about multi-generational households. What's a multi-generational household, Lawrence? Well, typically speaking, it's a household in which 3 or more generations of family members live together. So
Right.
it might be some grandparents,
Yeah,
parents, and
could be.
kids. So an example of this would be Charlie Bucket's house in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He
Right.
lives with his mum and 4 grandparents who, frankly, aren't pulling their weight. But in each country,
No,
what
they're not.
percentage of households have this kind of multi-generational makeup? Well, in Britain, the Office for National Statistics suggests that 419,000 households are considered multi-generational, and as a percentage of all the households in Britain, those account for about 1.5%. In America, it's about 4 million households, but whoa, back up the truck, right? America has a bigger population, it has more households in general, so this makes sense. But even when you do account for that differential, 4 million households is nonetheless 3.2% of all American households. So the answer to your question, Jeff, is that it appears that American households are twice as likely to be multi-generational. What do we learn from that? I don't know, but it's an interesting
It's
fact.
expensive to live in a house
The
in
terminology,
America. That's
the
what
titles
that
we use
equates to, my
describe a
friends.
particular family member. And I
Super
don't just mean the
expensive
word
to buy a
plonker.
house.
No, I'm
You
talking
own
about the
property in
American
America,
mom
you're
versus
lucky
the
son of a
British
gun.
mum, or pops versus
Anymore.
my old man. Whereas both Britain and America might refer to their younger sibling as younger brother or younger sister, Americans might occasionally refer to that person as their kid brother or
Oh,
kid
no, we don't
sister.
do that no
In
more,
Britain,
man.
as with the US, you might hear your parent's parental figure be described as granddad, grandfather, or grandpa.
Sure.
But one word that I heard in the Midwest, and I gather is used in the South, is papaw, or variants on that theme.
Pop-pop.
Similarly, in the UK, while we
Papaw.
might refer to our parents'
Pop-pop,
maternal figure
whatever.
as grandma, grandmother, nana, nan. In the US, you've got 1 or 2 other phrases. You've got Grammy, like the
Grammy,
award.
yeah.
You've got grandma, grandmom, grams.
My mum.
And presumably in cahoots with papaw, you have mamor. And that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below if your family has its own quirks.
Okay.
I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at Lost in the Pond US. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond. A big thank you
Those
to
videos don't get lost. Oh, wait.
my patrons who helped talk this video through with me. If you would like to support Lost in the Pond, you can do so today at patreon.com.
All right. Well, that just seems to be an ad for this guy here, and that's pretty cool. I dig his little channel. That's pretty cool. I give him a thumbs up and all that happy stuff to subscribe and do all that fun stuff. And you can do that for my channel too. That way we both win. It's a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was very interesting. Some of the stuff, I think it's old. Some of the stuff is a little bit older. Than we used to do it. Family life was different when I was growing up than it is now. I think, in my opinion, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but it seems like nobody goes to visit anymore. We hardly ever fly just for recreation. It's more of a you have to go, you have to fly somewhere, you have to go. You know what I mean? Since COVID. But I don't know. Leave a comment in the bleep bloop, you know, at the bottom, whatever. You know how this works. All right, let's just see. We'll see if this works. All right, we'll see you in the next one.